How much did the military make you so driven that way?
I think the military was a big part of my life, and part of who I've become. I was an infantry soldier, and the infantry soldiers are the front lines of the army, and ever since I was a kid, you'd always see these movies like Saving Private Ryan and all these things, and you'd see these movies, and I was sort of fascinated by the sacrifice that these men made, like during World War I and World War II or whatever, having to leave their families and going to war and losing their lives at really young ages, and I'm like, man, like this is reality. This is history. This is what people had to do even without, like, against their own choice. You know what I mean? They had to go fight for their countries, for their freedom, and something about that to me just was so powerful. And I'm like, you know what? I got to do my service for my country, man. Like I got to go do that. I got to go. I don't got to go to war, but I got to go serve for my country, to pay my respects to the men that have fallen before us, not even just to my country, to the men in history in the world. There's something just so powerful about that, And I'm like, they didn't have choice. I have a choice, but I'm going to make the choice and I'm going to go, And so I went, and I got to go to Bosnia. I was 18 years old in the streets of Bosnia, 250 rounds on my body and one in the chamber, ready, locked it and loaded and on safe, And I thought at 18, I was like, wow, this is like the craziest shit ever, man. It is so cool, So I think that toughens you up mentally. Psychologically, you're kind of, they call it, you're in theater, you're in theater, and you kind of know you can die, you can die. People,
What do you mean in theater?
So they just call that in theater when you're actually in like a combat scenario.
Okay.
They call it theater, in theater. So, and in being in theater, you can die, you can die, and people get their legs blown off by stepping on mines, or you drive over a mine, and and it happens. So I think psychologically it makes you tough. You're with a lot of what we call hard dudes, hard men, and these men have seen things, have experienced things, and yeah, this is infantry, and then I became a paratrooper, and then you're with the heart of the hard, you know what I mean? So,
Did you fight on that card in Afghanistan?
I didn't.
I'm surprised you didn't.
No.
I thought for sure you would have been on that one.
Yeah.
I can't remember. We talked about it. It was a while by Roy McDonald. There were all these guys went.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's
Yeah,
why they would have been
awesome.
suited. It would have been suited for you.
Yeah.
Did you? Where else did you go besides Bosnia?
So that's it with the military. Just Bosnia.
Yeah.
What year was that?
That was in 2001.
2001.
Yeah. So when and the thing is, like, it wasn't like crazy in 2000. We were actually the last rotation, what they call like the last rotation. We were the last group of guys to be there in over like almost like a 10-year period. So it was already quieting down, but a great experience nonetheless.
What was going on when you were there?
So just peacekeeping. So basically what they were doing is just patrolling the streets. We would patrol. We would take, because a lot of civilians would have weapons.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And like they would, they were at war with each other and stuff, right? So a lot of times we would go and, like, for example, we'd get a call. A family would be like, hey, we found a mortar in our backyard. Yeah, like, like literally a mortar that's like had been there for like years, I don't know, 5-10 years, and it's got mud all over it, but they don't want to touch it because, it may go off, it may explode, so things like that. And then one of the things that we did was we would do like raids, like at 6 a.m. in the morning. We would go like just into people's homes in their village, and we were looking for weapons. We would go into their cars. We would just search all their things and take their weapons, take their bullets. And from one day raid, we would come back and we would just have just tons of like bullets and guns and explosives and stuff from the civilians. Yeah, and then you do one a month later, and again, Now,
was it like random people, or was it specific targeted? Like,
no,
they say these are the houses you got to check, or just go down the street?
Just houses.
Huh?
Yeah, because you got to think, these people have been at war. You know what I mean? So a lot of families, they all have guns and stuff to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I think the governments there was just trying to like clean it up, So yeah, that was like one of the crazier things that happened. We would also do roadblocks, kind of like drive ride programs,
Yeah.
We'd do roadblocks. What we'd do is we would put like a tank on one side of the road and a tank on the other side of the road, and then we'd have a soldier on one side, so that the car comes on, they can't drive through because of the tank, so they have to stop, right? So we're talking to people, checking, you have any weapons? No. Okay, you can go. So I'm on this side checking this way's traffic. There's another guy checking that way's traffic. And he's like, okay, you walk and you show your hand. Stop, right? Now they should be slowing down. This guy goes, stop. The guy's not slowing down. He's like, stop. The guy is actually speeding up. So he puts his hand on his rifle and he's like, stop, stop. He pulls his gun out, and as he pulls his gun out, right about to shoot, the guy just slams his brakes. And my, I guess my coworker at that time, he's like, dude, like, I was literally right about to shoot this guy like 2 times in his head, you know? So that was Bosnia. Even though there wasn't a lot of conflict, there was still scenarios where it's like
Tense.
Yeah, pretty intense, you know. So, but nonetheless, I mean, I'm so grateful for those experiences. You know, I feel that they definitely had a part of making me who I am.
100%.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
With all the civil unrest in the United States right now, just a weird question, but do you think civil war could ever happen?
I mean, I think
After
that,
seeing something like that in somebody else's country.
yeah, you know, I think that here in the north or here